Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimmy, your sage, your guru, your mystic, and your spiritual informant. Today, we're going deeper into the mystery of binding magic. In my previous video entitled The Hidden Truth About Binding Spells, I discussed how binding spells are performed and how they are usually used for the purposes of performing destiny swaps or for the purposes of siphoning someone's spiritual gifts. So please go check out that video because it may deepen your understanding of today's topic, which is all about the process of breaking binding spells. It really is a process because it's not something that can be fixed quickly or overnight, especially if you have been under spiritual attack for many months or many years. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can keep up with the mystical and powerful conversations that I have here on Surviving Witchcraft with me, your host, OshunSpeaks. And without further ado, let's jump right into today's conversation. And so, one of the main comments that I get on my videos when I am talking about spell work and about witchcraft is, how do I break this or how do I stop this? And my response is usually the same: the spell determines the remedy. In other words, there is no one size fits all remedy for breaking curses because each spell and its caster, the person who casted the spell, is unique. Let's say two people are both suffering from binding spells. The process for breaking that spell for each person is still going to be a unique process because the specific way that the spell was performed is going to be different from person to person and from situation to situation. The ingredients used, the incantations that were said, the people involved, and the spirits that were summoned. So, if you are interested in figuring out a remedy for your particular situation, please feel free to book a consultation or a reading with me, where we'd be able to tap in with your spirit team, your angels, your ancestors, and your spirit guides to figure out what type of spell was performed and what would be the best route for breaking it. I am still going to offer some general tips and techniques that may still be useful to your situation if you suspect that a binding spell has been performed on you or someone that you know. And before I get into those specific techniques that could be used in the process of breaking binding spells, I want to first give a little bit of context or background information about this type of magic. When it comes to binding spells, these spells very usually initiate attacks on a representation of the person or target. So by using dolls, photos, and or items belonging to a person, this could be their hair, their nail clippings, their clothing, their pictures, the witch or warlock will cast spells, perform incantations, and attach dark entities or spirits to the representation of that person. So that whatever happens to the doll, to the photo, or to the representation will first begin to happen in the spirit world into the spiritual body, and then it will eventually begin to affect the physical body. So, the key to breaking binding spells is to actually work on freeing the spirit, which is to say that the process for breaking binding spells is going to require more spiritual work rather than physical work, if that makes sense. Let's get into 4 ways or techniques that you can utilize to begin the process of breaking binding spells. And the first technique that I am going to discuss does sort of deal with the physical body, and this is a spiritual bath. The thing with spiritual baths is that they cleanse both the physical body and the aura or the spiritual body. And a spiritual bath may very well be needed if the effects of the binding spell has now penetrated the physical realm. So if someone is having physical pain, physical tension, or physical effects as a result of a binding spell, then a spiritual bath will help to clear out that energy and bring some relief to both the body and the spirit. And for those who aren't familiar, a spiritual bath is made with a variation of various herbs, salts, oils, and spiritual colognes. And these ingredients depend specifically on what the bath is intended to do. And this is really just going to be the beginning process of breaking the bind, because the bind is still existing in the spiritual state, and that is the place where it needs to be cleared. And yes, you can still take a spiritual bath if you only have a stand in tub. You would simply boil the herbs and create the herbal mixture, and you would pour it over yourself rather than soak in it. So please know that you can still spiritually cleanse yourself. You can take a spiritual shower if you don't have an actual full tub. The next technique that will aid in the process of breaking spiritual binds is Reiki healing. When it comes to Reiki healing, this is something that you could pay someone to do for you. You could also attend a virtual Reiki session via YouTube. There are plenty of YouTubers who do free Reiki healing through videos and things like that on their channel. And if you are spiritually tapped in enough, or you would like to begin being more spiritually tapped in, you actually could have the power to perform Reiki healing on yourself. Please feel free to do your own research on Reiki. Research some YouTubers that may offer free sessions, research Reiki healers in your area, or you could buy books on Reiki and learn how to do it yourself. Reiki is an extremely powerful technique or tool for clearing out spiritual binds. It is an energy healing process. It will literally remove energy blockages from your auric field. The best way that I would describe Reiki is as a practice of energy moving or energy transference. So you could technically do this yourself by tuning in to where you actually feel those spiritual and energetic blockages or binds in your aura. And then, with the power of your hands and through the power of visualization, you can remove those blockages. In order to effectively perform self Reiki, there is a prerequisite technique that you absolutely need to master, and that technique is meditation. Meditation is an extremely powerful tool for sharpening discernment and gathering the spiritual data or information that you need to reveal the types of blockages and binds that have been placed on your spirit. Our spirit is ours. So we have full power and dominion and reign over our spirit. So anything that we need to know or see about our spirit can be revealed to us when or if we seek that information. And the best way to seek that information is through meditation. The point of meditation is to see with your spiritual eyes or your third eye beyond the physical world and into the spiritual world. And then you can use your meditative power to rewrite, reorder, and or revisualize the binds that you have discovered and to undo them. The mind is an extremely powerful thing. Trust me. You can literally undo spiritual binds through visualization and meditation. For more on the technique of visualization, please check out the video I made entitled Turning Curses into Blessings Through the Power of Transmutation. I'll link that video in the description box along with the previous video that I made on the hidden truth about spiritual binds, so that you can watch all three of these videos and get a sharper understanding of how you can free yourself from this type of magic. Now, this last method that I am going to discuss for breaking spiritual binds is perhaps one of the most powerful ones. And this method is astral traveling. You can astral travel while sleeping or while you are awake. But doing it while sleeping is perhaps going to come more naturally, because when we sleep, we automatically go into the spirit world. So, in order to astral travel, you have to begin to direct your spirit as it is going into the spirit world. And you can do this by repeating certain phrases or mantras over and over as you fall into sleep. Because if we don't give our spirit a mission and direction when it is going into the spirit world, it makes it easier for witches and warlocks. It makes it easier for witches and it makes it easier for witches and warlocks to lure our spirits into traps and binds. There are a few phrases that I like to work with to direct my astral traveling. One thing I like to say is, show me where I am bound. Show me where I am bound. Show me where I am bound. Or you can say, show me what's keeping me stuck. What's keeping me stuck? What's keeping me stuck? Thank you so much, beautiful people, for watching this video. Please drop any questions, tips, or suggestions for future episodes in the comments. Peace and blessings. Sela.